loud, sorry. Hi, good morning. Oh my god, it's so nice to do this in the morning. I feel so full of energy and caffeine, honestly. Lots of caffeine.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
Look at this, just, hang on, how do I need, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, make some noise for Minnie, Sabine.
We kind of look pretty different right now, don't we? I should have put more lipstick on. They really went with the lipstick on this one. Like, damn. That's like ruby red. Anyway, sorry.
You don't have one of these?
I do. They're not on display though. They're in my garage, in lots of boxes. You know, it's just weird to have them all out when friends come over.
I would not be weird about that whatsoever. I would display them everywhere and showcase them, but let's get to you, San Antonio, for a minute. How has the event been going for you so far?
It's great. We got here pretty early on Friday, so we explored the city a bit. We did the river walk, which was beautiful. I went and ate I'm a bit of a foodie, so I researched places to eat before I came here. I went and ate at Clementine. Have you guys? Yeah, it was really, really good. And then just kind of tried a few different places for coffee. Really love coffee. Really love coffee. And I've been having a great time. The beautiful trees along the river, I think they're cypress trees. They're so beautiful. Yeah, it's really beautiful here.
So,
and the event's great too. Yeah.
And you guys are also fantastic. We have a lot of questions. We're going to get to as many fan questions as possible. But first, I must ask, because you've been brought into the Ahsoka series, and you're joining this massive franchise, and you're also bringing to life one of the most beloved animated characters. First, let's start with, what was that auditioning process like? Were you confident about it? Did it not go as well as you had hoped? And then, where were you, and what do you remember from getting that call that you had actually got the role?
Firstly, I'm sorry if you've heard this story already, but I was in Atlanta. I was shooting a movie called Day Shift, which was a bit of vampire fun with Jamie Foxx, and I think as an actor, I've said this before, but you just kind of have to have a certain level of detachment with auditioning, because there is just so much that doesn't work out. It's just a natural part of the process. So Sarah Finn's office, I don't know if you guys know Sarah Finn, she casts a lot of like Marvel and Star Wars and all these great projects. I had a tape from her office. I didn't really think too much about it. I just sent it in, forgot about it, kept going about my life. And it was a scene that was from Top Gun, that I was playing Tom Cruise's character in the audition. So I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but okay. Because it was confidential, the script was confidential, everything was confidential. All I knew that it was like a Jon Favreau related confidential project. And then a couple weeks later, after I'd already completely forgotten about the audition, I got a call from my team, and they were like, please tell us you've seen The Mandalorian. And I was like, yeah. And I was so honored to be told that I was playing the co-lead with Rosario on her show, and my God, yeah, very, very, very blessed and lucky. So it was a big meeting with Dave and John after that, so they made sure that I wasn't, sorry? Oh, I love Ro. I wish, yeah, I'm like, why don't we do these together all the time? Anyway, I can't control that, but yeah, that's the audition process.
I'll make a comment, we'll make some suggestions. What Natasha wants, Natasha gets. So going from there, I imagine there's a large learning curve, because there's a plethora of lore that you either can get into or choose not to get into. So is Filoni, for example, is he sending you materials, or is he just saying, here's the show, watch the animated show to get some backstory? There's also books, there's comics. What preparation are you doing just to research the character?
I think the creators didn't give us any pressure. It was very much our choice as to how we wanted to prepare, but I watched everything because that was what felt right for me. I think I've never played a character that already existed before, so I thought it was such an amazing resource to have. Like, it's already been made, it's a memory bank, it's this visual, valuable thing that I would have had to do my own work to create, but it's already there in the world. So I found Rebels really useful for the process of preparing. But I think some actors maybe, they probably want to focus on the live action and creating that own story. So I think there's a variety, but they didn't put any pressure on us to do anything. I think they're very, Dave is always like, you are this character now, so whatever decision you make, it's very liberating the way that they work. Yeah.
This is a great segue into a question from Brooke. Brooke, where are you? Brooke's right over there. Brooke would like to know, is there any one scene from Rebels that you go back to when getting into character or when you need a little bit of direction?
Yeah, I always love Sabine's journey with Kanan and all of the training that she started to embark upon in Rebels. I think it really foretold a lot of the journey ahead that she had as an apprentice, and her struggle for control, her struggle to get over these past traumas. So I love that part of Rebels, and I always go back to it when referencing that struggle, because I feel like season 1 had a lot of mirroring to that. Yeah.
There's another question here. Natasha. Natasha, where are you?
Here I am. Wait. Oh, hi.
Natasha would like to know, well, who was your favorite Rebels character to begin with? Or was it always Sabine?
It's really hard because I watched Rebels when I already got cast in the role, so I'm a bit biased. I was very focused on what Sabine was doing for the whole show. So yeah, Sabine is my favorite.
Sabine's emotional arc in Ahsoka is layered with grief, loyalty, and defiance. So what was sort of your process on navigating those shifts?
Yeah, I think, so tempted to talk about season 2, but I won't.
Get me in trouble.
But I won't.
Disney snipers are around.
Just sorting out the information in my mind. Yeah, I think the journey for season 1, I really love that nothing comes easy to her. I think a lot of people, a lot of characters have found the Jedi journey to come with ease and instinct, and that's great too. I think I love Sabine's imperfections, and there's this debate about, you know, her having made the wrong decisions and making mistakes, and I think it's just very interesting. I like that she gave in to, you know, weaknesses or grief or depression even at certain points. I love that she's recovering from a lot of trauma, and it's messy. I just love that arc. She gets Ahsoka's guidance and love and mentorship even when she doesn't deserve it. And I think that's an important element of any sort of master and apprentice as well.
We've had actors from Ahsoka on this stage, from The Mandalorian. I always ask because it seems like there's a moment when you're getting, allergies are killing me today. When you're getting into costume, when you're doing your first fitting, there's a moment of like, I don't know, it's kind of special for everybody. Did you have a moment like that when you first put on either the Mandalorian outfit where you just kind of had a very unique experience seeing yourself the first time?
Yes, I remember the exact moment. I mean, I was fangirling so hard at this point because after I got cast, I not only watched Rebels, but I watched like every Star Wars related project chronologically. So I put myself in a very interesting headspace to start working on this show where I was like, oh my god. And then I went to Manhattan Beach Studios and I went for my first fitting, and they actually had me put on Bo-Katan's armor just to see the initial fit on my body. So I got to wear the Bo-Katan armor as my first thing, and that was incredible. Yeah.
Nobody tell Katie.
Yeah, I don't think it was like her exact outfit, but it was, especially after I had just binge watched everything, to just have it on was crazy.
And then we've asked a few people, you're joining this huge franchise and the productions are massive and there's so much money involved in building either the sets or using that massive high definition screen that you guys are in front of. What is it like and how surreal is it to kind of just walk onto the set for the first time and seeing the enormous crew and just getting into that moment?
There's nothing like it. I think there's lots of high budget projects that they still don't have the same amount of practical effects and set design that our franchise has. Like, as an actor, it's just Disneyland every day. Like, you're on set, there's very little to pretend to. Everything's there. The droids are there, the props are there, everything is made, everything works. You press a button, a light goes off. You know, there's very little acting. It's really just living it. So we are very fortunate on this set, and we often have cast mention that when they have to go to another project, they're like, oh man, everything's kind of fake. Okay. We're not used to that anymore. We're kind of used to the amazing real sets with working props and so much thought put into everything. So we're very spoiled on this franchise.
We had a couple of your cast members here last year, and also one of them, fellow Texan, Aman Esfandi. Any fans?
He's from Laredo, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a kick out of our crowd. They fell in love with him immediately once he said that. But you shared a lot of moments with Ezra on screen. Can you kind of talk to us about your chemistry working with Iman?
It's funny because I feel like Iman is one of the people that I have the least scenes with, because we're constantly looking for each other. Like, the whole of season 1 was, we joked that, I mean, I don't really drink, but we were like, if there was a game, it'd be like, take a shot every time Sabine says Ezra, you know, before she's actually found him. So yeah, but when we work together, it's just like the crew reunited, you know, we really just, it's exactly how it is, how you'd imagine it to be. We're just kind of a big gang on set, and we all have so many in-jokes that every time someone asks me in an interview, I cannot remember a single one of them, but yeah, it's great.
You gotta start writing them down when you go to these things and just...
I keep saying that, and again, for season 2, I did not write any down.
It's okay,
so,
it's okay. I imagine they're probably not letting you write anything to begin with. They're like, no pencils, no pens, no phones, no nothing.
It's very intense, yeah.
Yeah. I feel it, and I don't even work with Disney, but they give me a lot of notes. So, Celeste, where are you at?
Oh.
Celeste? Over there.
Hello.
Holding the lightsaber. How did I not see
Love
that?
saber.
Celeste wants to know, Sabine is well known as an artist and for her artistic skills. How does that compare to you? Do you have any art skills like that? Great question, Celeste.
I doodle a little bit, but it also makes me nervous when people ask me to doodle and then want to get it tattooed. Because I'm like, I don't know if it's that level. I've just started knitting. Is that artsy? Not really.
I think so, right?
I don't know, I'm in this period of my life where I feel very overwhelmed by like AI and technology in general, like, and its effect on the world and everyone's mental state and how unnatural it all is. So I feel like my version of rebelling against that is that I want to do everything analog and manual and with my hands again, whether that be like, you know, learning how to DIY everything, fix things myself. I just don't want to rely on not knowing how to do things practically, and that's one of the reasons I learned to knit. Like, I'm such a rebel, I'm learning how to knit. But
no pun intended, guys.
Honestly, it's the most humbling activity as well, because I swear, I could go on a tangent about this, but like, honestly, knitting is a scam. It is sold to you as this relaxing thing that older people do in their chair that's all relaxing. It is so hard. I have shed tears over it, honestly, and I paid for 2 private lessons because I couldn't do it. So it's a great journey to just go back to what is considered like something that's, what's the word? Like it's not in anymore, and you can just get a machine to do this and a machine to do that. I'm just really loving going back and learning all the things that my parents said, you don't need to know how to do that. Because I think there's so much value in it, and it's good for you mentally to use your hands. So drawing, sure. I'm sorry, you asked about art. Yeah. Yeah. What else do I do that's art? I learned how to sew as well. You know, that was another one that I was like, I need to not go to the tailor anymore. I need to learn how to sew. So yeah. No art.
So where are my fellow knitters at? Any knitters in the house?
Yes!
There you go.
Wow.
This question is from Evie. Evie, where are you? Right there. Hello, Evie. She would like to know, do people recognize you in public a lot? And if so, what is your funniest or weirdest experience of meeting a fan? Great question, Evie.
I think, honestly, I look quite different to Sabine in real life just because of the hair and the armor. So I got kind of, I think right when the show came out, there was a lot of recognizing, but over time, I don't know, I'm pretty low-key. I don't think people really think it's me. They kind of give me like the, nah, can't be like, nah. But quite a few people have actually recognized me in San Antonio, which has been really, really flattering. Yeah, my barista gave me a free coffee. And you know I love coffee, so yeah, no, it's really, really fun. I love it, honestly. People always have the best stories when they tell me what their experience of Ahsoka or something else that I did was. Like, the barista was telling me how he watched a show I did on Netflix called The Society right when he graduated high school. And the show is very much, you know, that age group. It's very nostalgic. So I just love hearing where people were in their lives when they watched something that I did and what effect it had on them. And there's always the most original stories, so it's always fun. Yeah.
No name on this next one. That's okay though, but great question here. Someone says, thank you for being our first Asian Jedi. How does it feel to bring such a fan favorite into her full force powers?
Wow, I just love, anytime those words are together in a sentence, I'm like, whoa, okay. I guess that is true. What was the last part of the question?
How meaningful is it for you to bring that character into her, let's call it her prime, right?
I had mentioned this before, but I feel like so much of George's inspiration for the Jedi school of thought is Eastern philosophy. So it feels really, really great to be able to, as someone of, you know, mixed Chinese descent, bring that to screen, because I feel like so much of the Force and Qi and energy, it's very similar, and it's influenced by those schools of thought. So it feels really right as someone who is from that culture to be able to bring it from not just the training, but all the way to screen. And our, what am I trying to say? Our main trainer of stunts, such a weird way to put it, was a badass called Ming for season 1, and she's Chinese, and you know, her main training was a lot of wuxia, and then there's that more Japanese samurai inspired kind of stunt work that we do as well, and so it just feels really great to be someone of that heritage and be able to be on screen when so much of the physicality and the philosophy behind it is inspired by Asian and East Asian culture. Yeah.
Okay, so I apologize. I probably didn't get this name wrong. Danielle? There you are. From Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to The Greatest Showman, which film have you had the most fun learning new choreography for?
I think Crouching Tiger was pretty stressful, I'm not gonna lie. I was so young and also I had so little time. I was cast like 2.5 weeks before we started shooting and I had to become a wuxia warrior. And those are some really deep lunges. Like if you don't have the leg muscles, to do that in 2.5 weeks was crazy. So I enjoyed that for Ahsoka I had so much more time, and by the time we actually, we trained for 2 to 3 months before each project, and in between I have practice swords at home, I'm always like twirling and just keeping myself physically adept. So I think I felt much less like a fraud in Ahsoka because I genuinely could do most of it. So, whereas in Crouching Tiger, I was fighting for my life, So I think Ahsoka's my favorite for sure, with physicality, and also the physicality and the stunts are so interwoven with the story. There's no stunt that happens just to look cool. It's all intentional. It's all character driven. Dave is constantly questioning, like, why is this character doing this? Why would this character attack here? Why would they attack before or after saying this? And I've never experienced such intention with the way that the stunts are designed. So definitely Ahsoka, yeah.
And we love hearing that. And I think that's something that is kind of a pattern that we hear a lot, is that there is so much intent. There's a deep thought process to everything. I can't go into a tangent, but that's how Star Wars started. Just set designers. There's a great, I don't want to plug my stuff too much. We have a panel on our channel with one of the original set designers from the original trilogy, and every set design was thoroughly mapped out in George's head. And every piece of prop, every paint color, every angle of a wall, ceiling, like thoroughly thought about and considered by George and that creative team. So as much as we love Star Wars, there is far more energy and thought that goes into the execution of these projects. And that's why I'm forever grateful about it, because there's so much work that we will never understand or comprehend that goes into it. So just another thing that you've helped reinforce my thoughts about. This kind of goes in with the last question. What was it like working with the legend herself, Michelle Yeoh?
Michelle's so cool. I was kind of afraid of meeting her just because she's such a legend, and I expected her to be this really, serene, I don't know how to explain it, like kind of like the characters she plays, which are all these respected, but she's like a teenager. She's so sick. She's like, hey dude. I was like, hey! She's the coolest. I'm so grateful that I was only 19 at the time, and she was my first, older female mentor that I worked with, another actress, and she's just the best. She took me under her wing. She didn't have to. I was just this random kid from Australia, and she really guided me through my first big project. So forever grateful to her. She's just genuinely like the nicest, coolest person. Yeah. Oh, I can't rate them. They're like, no, they're all the same level. Hugh and I actually went to the same university, so we bonded about that. Yeah. Shout out to UTS. Yeah.
Any UTS alums in here? Just curious. No? Okay. This question is from Bill. Bill, where are you at, sir? Over there. Bill would like to know, in your career, has there been a director who you've worked with that has influenced you the most? Great question, Bill.
Yeah, I don't want to sound cliche, but it's definitely Dave. Filoni, to be clear. I was like, have I worked with another Dave?
We did.
Yeah, no, it's really, again, it's just the level of intention. The history of the franchise has always worked in. It's just a different level to anything I've ever worked on. There's so much history and past that needs to be considered. There's so much lore. There's so much philosophy. And so it's far less just about the script and how it's going to look, but what it means. What message does this give people? And and that level of detail and love is just very rare, honestly, in this kind of project. So, yeah.
Love hearing that about him. This next question is from Maria. Maria, where are you? I don't see Maria. Maria. Nobody? Okay. She would like to know, what is your dream role? Or, let's be honest, have you already gotten it?
Well, start to love it. Yeah, I'm kind of doing it. Honestly, I don't want to sound cliche again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can say, though.
What did you watch growing up that like really either inspired you or motivated you to get into entertainment? And maybe that we can start from there.
I just love, even, I mean, again, cliche, but like even just the A24 character-driven films, you know, it's kind of like a good book. There's certain films you watch that change the way you look at people in the world forever, and what's better than that? You know, that's kind of what it's about. You're building culture, you're changing culture, you're influencing culture. So those big changing pieces for me, to be part of a movie like that that really shifted the culture on something or made people think differently about something, those are my favorites. Sorry, that's so vague, but yeah.
I think we appreciate that, right guys? My apologies, I meant to kind of clear this with you first, and I hope this is okay, but can you let us know something either on-set or off-set that you most remember about the late Ray Stevenson?
He loved rave music, yeah, and it was always a party with Ray. Yeah, that's my best memory.
There you go. All right, we have time for one more question, and I want you to be as big and not get yourself or myself in any sort of trouble. One word that you can help us understand season 2 of Ahsoka.
Just bigger and better, I think. Yeah.
We'll take it. Is that enough for us, guys? We want to keep Dave happy, that way he keeps making shows for us. So, San Antonio, please get on your feet, make some noise, show her your appreciation. Natasha!